in 1984 and served in several positions. He is a past president of SVGAT, current chair of CADIRA, president of the Council of the Caribbean Associations Canada, CCAC. Gideon is also a board member of the Canadian Guyanese Youth Alliance, a group that is focused on mentoring and assisting children of Caribbean descent. He is involved in spearheading the formation of the Disaster Preparedness Initiative for both St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as the member countries of the CCAC. A warm and a pleasant welcome to Gideon.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for that welcome. And on behalf of CADIRA, I'd like to welcome all of you who are here today. The term disaster preparedness has become a buzzword around the world, and I'm very happy that the Caribbean community here in the GTA is at the forefront of it. Disasters and tragedies have no special friends. They visit us when they want to, often without notice, and there is not a damn thing we could do about their impromptu visit. When disasters strike, we are all in it together. That is why we have to be ready. The efforts that we are making to put together committees in our respective Caribbean communities here in the GTA will be of benefit to the government and peoples of the Caribbean, and will bring satisfaction to those of us who are involved in setting these committees going. Today, my sincere congratulations to the St. Vincent and the Grenadines community here in Toronto, and particularly the members of CARI-ON for joining in the ranks of the Grenada Disaster Preparedness Committee and the Security Awareness for Emergencies in Dominica Safety, as well as the Antigua and Barbuda Emergency Relief Fund, in launching today the version of St. Vincent and the Grenadines Disaster Preparedness. How quickly time flies. It was June in 2010 when CCAC was launched, and one of the pillars of CCAC was disaster preparedness. And this was put together to encourage the Caribbean community here to work together to respond to the various tragedies that affect the Caribbean. With the formation of the Canadian Disaster Preparedness Committee, or CADIRA, the CCAC quietly turned over disaster preparedness to the Caribbean Consular Corps and the Caribbean community. So even though CCAC gave birth to disaster preparedness, it gave it over to a foster parent, and the foster parents are the Consular Corps and the entire Caribbean community. So CCAC is no longer related to disaster preparedness. Caribbean nationals in the diaspora contribute immensely to the sustainment of life in the Caribbean. And it is often said that if there is a breakdown in the money transfer services for 1 week, that in itself would be a disaster in the entire Caribbean. The Caribbean is prone to disasters, so when disasters strike the region, even though we do not live there, we are in it together, we feel the pain together, and we feel the pain of our relatives who live there. Over the years, the Caribbean nationals in the diaspora have reacted very well and responded to the needs of the region by providing all terms of relief when disasters arise. Prior to now, there were no structured way that we responded to disaster efforts in the Caribbean. We no longer want to continue in that manner. So committees like CARI-ON and CADIRA will serve to organize us much better to respond to the needs when any of the Caribbean countries is affected by a disaster. The opening lyrics of one of my favorite school songs goes like this: "It only takes a spark to get a fire going, and soon all those around are warmed up by its glowing." The spark that committees like CARI-ON generates will benefit many communities for years to come. CADIRA is not meant to duplicate what other organizations are doing. But with the establishment of the various organizations, and I'm appealing to nationals of other communities here, other Caribbean communities here in Toronto, to get aboard and form their own disaster preparedness committees. I don't want to try to single out some of the countries that have not yet come aboard, but just look around and see what's happening. As I said earlier, disasters have no friends, and they don't wait for invitations. By forming CADIRA, we hope to coordinate the efforts of the various Caribbean organizations. Like, for instance, if a disaster strikes in St. Vincent, we, CADIRA, would liaise with CARI-ON, the St. Vincent Connection Group, and they will tell us what St. Vincent needs, and then we, as CADIRA, the wider Caribbean community, would assist St. Vincent in trying to reach out for help from the wider community. One of the things we need to realize is that these small countries of the Caribbean cannot go to the federal government or even the provincial government for help. We are too small when we are divided. So CADIRA is intended to help us to get together, pool our resources, and one of those resources is reaching out to the different entities that could provide assistance to us. So we want to put in place warehouses where supplies can be stored and ready to ship at an instant. We want to have the human resources in place to dispatch to critical areas. A while ago, Raul from Global Medics spoke about how they respond. We want to have at our fingertips the contact information for all relief and response agencies here in Canada and throughout the Caribbean. So we are going to work with our CITIMA, which is the Caribbean organization designed to act for relief preparedness and disaster preparedness in the Caribbean. We must have money to purchase some critical supplies. So one of the things that we're doing today, and we hope to begin doing across the Caribbean community, is to ask our people to contribute and have a fund so that when disaster strikes, we could immediately respond. We must have transportation agencies that we could contact for immediate assistance. And we must know who we are shipping these supplies to. We must know who we are sending money to. And we need to know that the material and money that we send are reaching to those people that need them. I therefore urge all people of Caribbean descent to support the committees as they are formed. Let us put structures that we can be happy with and plans in place so that when we are called upon to assist our region, we'll be ready to do so. Reach out to the Consular General of your country and the chairs of the respective committees to strengthen their committees to provide help to our birthland. Again, when disaster strikes, we are all in it together. Let us not just say so, but really do so by pooling our resources to assist when the need arises. For all those who wish to make financial contributions and would require tax-deductible receipts, the various committees will be able to facilitate your request. One of the last public functions I attended, I did an impromptu appeal, and it worked very well. So I'm going to try it a second time. The people of the Bahamas need your help now. So I am asking all of us here to dip deep in your pocket, not necessarily today, but during the next week, and contact the Consul General of your country, and they have a list of the things that the people of the Bahamas, the government of the Bahamas has put together, and more than anything else, they need money. So I'm asking you to consider to make a Christian contribution. Not just, just dip in your pocket and take out something, but make a meaningful contribution. One of the things that this organization here today, CARI-ON, is doing, as you notice, there was no admission charge. So we are asking people today to give generously. Whatever you give, whatever contribution you make today, we would use a portion of that just to cover the expenses, and the rest of it will go to help the people of the Bahamas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience, and congratulations to Hayden and his team for organizing CARI-ON. Thank you.